Hi, I'm Steve Valk, Communications Director for Citizens Climate Lobby, and I'm going to tell you about a big media opportunity that we have with Catholic newspapers. First of all, why Catholic newspapers? Well, about 1/3 of the members of Congress are Catholic, and the ones who aren't have lots of constituents who are. Hearing from Catholics in their district and state about the Energy Innovation Act can have a big influence on whether they decide to back the legislation. Early this year, we picked up a huge endorsement from the Catholic community when Bishop Frank Duane, a member of the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops, issued a statement of support for H.R. 763. A story about that appeared in the National Catholic Reporter. It was a wonderful story, but here's the question. How do we get that story, or some version of it, in front of millions of Catholics throughout the country? Here's how. Each archdiocese in the U.S. has a newspaper that is distributed to all the Catholics in the region. In North Georgia, that newspaper is the Georgia Bulletin. I looked it up online, found out who the editor was, and sent her a note. Hi, Nicole. This is Steve Valk with Citizens Climate Lobby. I'm a parishioner at the Shrine of the Immaculate Conception in Atlanta, and I wanted to call your attention to a story in the National Catholic Reporter about climate change legislation recently introduced in the U.S. House of Representatives, the Energy Innovation and Carbon Dividend Act. The story highlights the statement of support from Bishop Frank Duane of the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops. The legislation is worthy of Catholic support because, one, it sets a robust price on carbon that will significantly reduce the carbon emissions causing climate change. And two, it returns revenue from the carbon fee to households, thereby protecting low and middle income people from the economic impact of the fee. Could the Georgia Bulletin do a story about this, or at least pick up the story that ran in the National Catholic Reporter? Given Pope Francis's consistent call for action on climate change and his Laudato Si encyclical, plus the statement of support from the US CCB, this seems like something that Catholics in the Archdiocese need to be aware of. If you'd like to get local comment, I'd be happy to talk to a reporter. Thanks for your consideration. Notice that in the note, I embedded links to the story in the National Catholic Reporter, the Energy Innovation Act website, and the statement of support from Bishop Frank Duane. After a couple of weeks, I got a note back from the editor. She apologized for the delay, said she was interested in doing a story, and said she'd have a reporter get in touch. A few days later, a reporter interviewed me, and the story came out about a week later. So find a Catholic newspaper in your area and make a pitch for them to do a story about our bill based on the Catholic bishop's endorsement and the work that local volunteers are doing to support this legislation. If there is a volunteer in your group who is Catholic, have them make the pitch. If the story gets published, make sure your representatives and senators see it. Also, you can use this story to reach out to Catholic churches in your area to ask if they would like to have someone from CCL come and make a presentation. As the choir director at my church always says, best of luck.